Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. In today's episode of The Last Dance Review, we are going to review episodes 5 and episode 6 of the docu-series. But before I start this video, I just want to give a huge special thank you to the first responders and the essential workers that are out there risking their lives during this horrible pandemic in this country. And I want you guys to make sure that you are staying safe during this whole time. But without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little prouder.
The first part of it, it was just so great to hear Kobe's voice. It was just so great to see Kobe in that light talking about MJ and the battle that he had with MJ at the All-Star game in '98. It was just a great pleasure to see Kobe. I thought they were going to do a little bit more as far as interviewing Kobe and giving his insight as well. But it was just so great to see Kobe and Michael, and just the way that Kobe had influence from Michael to be the player that Kobe was throughout his career. It was just great to see Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. Now to get into the actual Bulls, the 92 Dream Team and them not having Isaiah on the team, I always thought it wasn't just Michael that didn't want him and didn't want to play with him. I thought it was just more, and I knew it was just more guys like Magic, Larry did not want to play with Isaiah Thomas on that Dream Team because of the way the Pistons were and the way that he played on the court. He always said he respected his talents, but it's just some of the things that the Pistons and him were doing that a lot of guys just couldn't see themselves playing with him on that Dream Team. And it shows when Isaiah was really left off for the Dream Team. And speaking of the Dream Team, the funny part about it is we really learned that they were putting Scottie Pippen's contract talks on hold for Toni Kukoc. It's absolutely, just looking back at it now, it's just like, why? The things that Scottie has done at that point in his short career, and for Jerry Krause to really put Toni Kukoc, a guy that wasn't going to be on the team right away, to negotiate him before Scottie Pippen. Come on, Jerry. It's just making you look even more and more, I say, like a jackass. The production that Scottie Pippen has given you throughout his short career, for you to negotiate the terms with Kukoc, putting Scottie Pippen's off to the table, is crazy. And the things that Jordan and Pippen were doing to Kukoc in that game, they basically shut that man down. Him and his Croatian team, they just basically either Jordan, Pippen just guarding them non-stop. And for Pippen to come out after that first game and say that Kukoc may not make the NBA was just kind of really strong words. But the second game, Kukoc came back and had a stronger game, had that tough mentality to show that he does belong in the NBA. It was just crazy to Jerry Krause to even do that. It blows my mind even now, even thinking back on it. It's just, come on, Jerry, what are you doing? Honestly. And Kukoc was a big part of those last 3 Bulls championship teams, even winning 6th Man of the Year at one point. Kukoc proved himself to be a very, very solid player in the NBA. Now, they did say he was going to be the future of the Bulls. He didn't really become that, but he did become an integral piece of that 97-98 team that won a championship. And the things that Michael went through, as far as they were saying that he did not support the black Democratic candidate, he didn't come out and speak on it in North Carolina. I mean, it's a lot of NBA players that do not touch politics. Let's just keep it real. It's a lot of NBA players that some just do not really touch politics. And I will be honest, I'm not really a political guy myself. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm really not into politics as is. Even though they said the other guy was kind of had some stuff against blacks and he didn't want to have the Martin Luther King holiday and things like that. I mean, if you don't know much about it, don't say nothing. Honestly, I mean, I have been critical of my own self for saying Michael Jordan did not speak out enough against social issues, but if you don't know much about it, why even touch it? Why speak on it? Because you would really come out and just sound uneducated coming out and speaking on something that you really do not know about. And for the media to really scrutinize him for like that, I mean, they compared him to Muhammad Ali coming out. I mean, Muhammad Ali, his issues were extremely different than Michael Jordan supporting a politician. Muhammad Ali was speaking out on issues because he did not want to go to war. He did not want to go to war. A war against the Vietnam that he didn't feel was necessary. That's a totally different thing from speaking out on just a Democratic and Republican and the nomination, a Senate issue. That, I think those are two totally different things. And for them to show the clip of the guy comparing Muhammad Ali to what Michael Jordan did, it's two totally different issues. Muhammad Ali was basically fighting for his life when it comes to getting drafted for the war and things like that. And Michael was just speaking out on something that was a political issue. Two totally different situations. So I have to disagree with them comparing that to Muhammad Ali. But I do get the point of Michael not really speaking out on issues to protect his image. For him saying that Republicans buy shoes too. I mean, if you don't know what you're talking about, I mean, I get him not speaking out on it. I'm not going to sit here and criticize him just for that one issue. Because it's just one thing. If you don't know about it, and he hasn't been living in North Carolina for how long? So, I mean, he's not going to really know too much about it. And then the day, like, the yesteryears when you didn't have the Googles, you didn't have the internet and the things like we had now, it's kind of hard pressed to really go research and do your facts on the situation when it's not as accessible as things that we have in today's age. So even though I've been critical myself, Michael not really speaking out on political issues, but I understand why he didn't speak out in this particular situation. For Michael, these two parts just really show how competitive Michael Jordan really was. For him to go at Clyde Drexler because he felt so offended about him being compared to him, he respected Drexler, but he just took offense to it, and he really came out bald. He balled against the Blazers in that 92 finals. The shrug game, I mean, it's one of the more memorable moments of the career of Michael Jordan. To hit that many threes, 5 threes in the first half, 35 points in the first half, just to prove a point that Drexler is not better than him. That just really shows how competitive Michael Jordan was and how much winning championships really drove Michael Jordan. Even the little coin thing they was doing, I kind of didn't understand what they were doing at first, just seeing it. To be honest, I really didn't get what they was doing at first, but it just proved how competitive Michael Jordan really was. And the whole gambling incident in the 93 Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks, I mean, I would have done almost the same thing. I would have done something to kind of get away from it. You lose the first game, I mean, you kind of want to get out of it. You don't want to keep hearing about it. You want to do some things that kind of take you away from it from a second. Even though Michael's gambling issue was a big thing because the people he turned out to be gambling with and the known drug dealer that he ended up having to be a witness to and the guy that wrote the book about him. It was just crazy how many kind of criminal-minded people that were really golfing with Michael Jordan at this point. And it's actually, to me, I'm going to touch on the little gambling thing a little bit. I mean, if you got money like that and you're not costing anybody and you're not really sacrificing somebody, I mean, what's the issue here, honestly? What's the issue here? I mean, the man said it himself. He's not costing money from his kids. His kids are not starving. His wife not leaving him. He's not doing anything to jeopardize that. Even though he said he has a competitive problem, and watching a lot of the documentary, he has a competitive problem. He makes everything a competition. This is just something that's been known about him for years. He makes everything into a competition. Even golf, in the clip that they showed, during the what year is that? It might have been the 98 finals run, that them leaving to go golfing. I mean, it just shows that he has a competitive problem. He said it himself. He has a competitive problem. He makes everything a competition. And it's just crazy how blown up a small thing as him going to Atlantic City to kind of escape the game of basketball. I mean, in reality, we all need an escape from something, because it's our mental health that's being affected. Every once in a while, we grind so hard at certain things. We go hard at certain things. Even during this quarantine, it just realizes that we all need that getaway. We all need that escape. We all need something to just take our mind and just kind of normalize our mind so we can feel relieved of pressure. And for the Bulls winning 3 straight championships, that is a lot of pressure. So I don't mind Jordan just taking a night, going to Atlantic City, just go gamble, have a little bit of fun. And they did lose the game afterwards, but it was more of the Knicks just really being more physical, and it was something that they didn't really face a lot since those Pistons series, and they were facing it more in New York, and once they got adjusted to it, they beat the hell out of the Knicks. So it's just crazy, even in today's media, is that they put you so high on a pedestal only to tear you down. They do that with a lot of athletes. Even when Kobe had that whole situation back in 2003, 2004, it put you on so much of a high pedestal and only to take you down. And for me, I've really had journalistic interest since probably a little bit after high school, but it's just like, I don't want to be a part of that tearing people down type aspect that the media really does to athletes. They really put Michael on such a high pedestal. He did one thing, and it was a gambling thing, and they really tore that man down for one trip to Atlantic City. I mean, he did gamble a lot, and he was gambling with some bad people, but at the end of the day, you don't know everybody's inside life. Some people are living double lives at this point. 9 times out of 10, sometimes you don't know. So for him to be on that high of a pedestal, and then for the media to try to tear him down like that, it's crazy. And then the 93 series in the finals with Barkley played his ass off, I will be honest, but Michael, and Barkley said himself, that was the first time that he felt on a court that somebody was better than him. And Michael Jordan in that series was not losing. He was not losing. Phoenix played the Bulls really tough, but Michael just put himself in another level that nobody can beat him. Nobody can beat him. But overall, these 2 episodes were really, really dope. This whole documentary, whole docuseries has just been really, really dope. And you really get to learn a lot of things that you really didn't get to learn about the Bulls and Michael Jordan. And it's, for me, honestly, it's kind of putting Michael Jordan in a different light. For me, honestly, because you didn't get to see a lot of that stuff. You were just hearing stories. And a lot of stuff that you see, for me, is putting him in a different light than what a lot of people made him out to be. But this docuseries, I cannot wait for part 7 and 8 next Sunday. It's just going to be super, super dope. But that is all I've got for you guys. Be sure to like the video, comment your thoughts on the episodes down below, share the video, and also subscribe to the channel, as that helps the channel to grow. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both handles will be APW Sports, and both will be linked in the description below. I am signing out. You guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I will see you tomorrow on day 5 of this 31 day challenge. Peace out.
Wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister and my brother.